What's your baseball philosophy? What got you so far?
Well, I think it has to do a lot with my dad and just being able to see how he went about his business and his career, and I see what it can do for a family, and the joy of playing baseball, and it just motivates me to come out here on a daily basis and get on the grind and try to make it to the major leagues. I enjoy the game. I love it. I play with a lot of energy. I just try to bring it to the table every night and enjoy it with my teammates, and something that I enjoy doing and I love.
How about hitting? Do you have one approach for every hitter or every pitcher, or do you change off depending on who it is?
Well, my approach is pretty similar. I like to do certain things. Just being able to make my adjustments in game, or just having an approach to face the guy the first at bat, or late in the game, depending who, whether it's a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher, depending on what he has and just what he tries to do as far as executing his pitches to try to get guys out. But I think it just try to keep it as simple as possible, and just being able to repeat a good swing on and be ready to hit the fastball. That's my main key, and just being able to look one spot, one speed, and being able to get the job done, whether it's runners in scoring position or trying to get guys over or put your team in a situation to win ball games. So I've been doing that really well throughout the course of the year and being consistent doing that. So it took a lot in winter ball as far as and the years before that, as maturing as a player and just being able to develop an approach where you can be consistent and allow yourself to be successful in those situations, and just being able to get repetition and just knowing what to do in those situations and what to look for, how to go about it, and breathe, and a lot of things take into consideration. The ballpark, where the ball flies, or or if you need to hit a line drive or try to keep it real short. Certain things play in a factor, but you try not to do too much, and you try to just evaluate the day before the day starts, and you can pretty much go about your approach that way. Or if you already faced a guy once or twice and you already know what he has and what he looks like, you could probably be more aggressive or somewhat, and just being able to pick your spots.
Now, baseball, they talk a lot about the first-round draft picks. They get a lot of press, and they're supposed to have all this talent in the world, and a lot of them make it to the major leagues. But there are some that get passed up by guys drafted in later rounds. Why is that?
Well, the organization takes a shot, whether it's our organization or in other organizations. They take a shot as far as, investing in a young kid, or, picking a guy high up in the round, and that's the team's investment. So those people are going to get it as just like a business opportunity for an organization or a company. They're going to put their investment there first to try to get it the most they can out of them, to be productive and be ready for the major leagues in this case. But you just try to see them and try to help them, or talk about what's been going on. But as far as just being able to see that, and you see guys that get passed up, and there's a lot of good ball players out there that certainly do get passed up, and just the organization takes a shot as far as sending the right person up, whoever the team needs help for.
Now, spring training, every year, teams sign free agents. They bring in more people to compete with you at the major league level. You may show up there, maybe 20 catchers there. How do you approach that?
You try not, you see what you have, and you don't really think about it. It's something that in your own nature, baseball players are competitors. You want to put aside the politics, or who's there, or how many people they sign. Those are the wrong things to worry about. Those are things that shouldn't be on your conscience of going about your daily routine. If you're confident in your ability, and you're able to come to work every day, and being able to put the right mindset on a daily basis to go about your business as a professional, I think, and especially if you're successful, it's just going to build more confidence and open some eyes. That's definitely one thing I did in spring training, and I continue to do that now, and just be able to come into your own and just understand what you're capable of, and there's always room for improvement. As far as guys just coming into camp, or signing free agents, that's the nature of business. The ball club's trying to make their team better and seeing what other options they may have. But you try not to think about that. You just try to go out there and compete, play well, do well, and everything else will take care of itself.
Now, baseball has ups and downs in the organization. There's injuries, and sometimes you're off. Has there ever been a time yet that you wanted to quit baseball?
No. I mean, this baseball's been in my family for so long. I mean, I love it. It's an opportunity to show my brothers and sisters, you could stick with one thing and be successful. And, being an older brother, that's really important to me as far as showing them that they can put their mind into something and be successful as, putting in the hard work and do something. So, there's not a time, there's no doubt in my mind that even comes to mind. I come to work, I love it. Whether I go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts or I go 4 for 4 with 4 hits, it don't matter. It's a privilege. It's an honor. I love to come to work every day and knowing it's a job. But whether you come walk through the doors, it's a new day, and there's not a day that goes by that I even think about that. So I love this game. It's giving me a lot. It's giving me a free scholarship, giving me free education. It's giving me parts of the United States I had never seen before. A kid from Bronx, New York. There's not a day in mind that comes to mind where I want to quit baseball. I love it.
What are some of the things about pro sports you learned the hard way, though, that nobody told you about?
I think failure. I think, as a young kid, when I signed I was 22, just being able to taking failure the wrong way, just being able to not know how to deal with it. Failure comes with frustration and it lingers and it continues to, it gets in your back of your mind. You start to doubt yourself. But I think as I got older and just being able to, give myself confidence and in certain areas and hear negative things about me as far as, whether it's defensive or lack of consistency, certain things about that, I've learned, as I've matured, like I said earlier, just being able to turn that into positive, a lot of times frustration could easily be dwelled for hours, days, and it could eat you alive. But, I remember as a young guy in A-ball, I go 0 for 2, and I'm thinking, oh man, my third at bat, I need to get a hit. I want to get a hit. But you're not thinking the right way as far as how to get that third hit or that first hit. Ways to have, like I said about my approach, there's ways of how to think prior to an at bat or going into a game behind the plate, calling the right pitches, certain things like that where, I felt like a young guy, I didn't know how to take it. Now it's just, okay, to be consistent and to be successful, you really have to turn the page quickly and have really a short-term memory to being able to be a successful ball player and just being able to deal with the correct way instead of just trying to press and try to deal with it the incorrect way.
And we'll get you to that failure because being a professional player, you're probably an all-star in Little League, you're probably the all-star in high school, you're an all-star in the travel league and all that stuff. Then you come to professional baseball and you said you have failure. How did you get over that? How did you deal with that or come to the realization that how you are now?
Just being able to think positive, just being able to, find ways to deal with it, Every solution has an answer, just being able to, every problem has a solution. So, if you're just clustered in the mind as far as, like I said, frustration would eat you alive. And if you can turn that into positive and deal with it the correct way as far as turning the page and trying to go about what you want to do correctly and focus on that and be positive behind that and work to get better as far as, behind the scenes as cage, field work, all those things, to just have a better mindset as far as going into competition, And I think one of those things is just being able to, I read a lot of positive affirmation stuff. I read a lot of philosophy. I'm big into Bruce Lee. Like, I read a lot of his, one-liners and his philosophy thoughts. And, it's just a different mindset, just being able not to dwell and let that frustration or or negative energy linger with you throughout a course of 20, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, a game, or 2 days, a week. You know, being able to just come through those doors when the day starts and knowing it's a new day, and that's the beauty of baseball. You can't just let that eat you alive. You got to be able to come back to work with the right mindset, knowing how to fix it and not be frustrated when things don't go right.
Now, once you sign a contract, you're a professional baseball player, obviously. But was there a time before that it dawned on you that you were going to play professional baseball?
Honestly, I didn't. Like I said, my dad played 17 years, and I would spend my summers going running around with him, 13, 14 years old, and being well ahead of my age, just being able to, like you said, high school, baseball, Little League, Travel League, I was all-star, And it really didn't come to mind. I didn't know about the draft. I didn't know anything about it. But then when high school came around, it was just like, scouts are coming to my games. Like, what's going on? Like, I didn't know how to deal with it. And just being able to just enjoy that experience and just being able to know what's going on and being able to just have have a sense of knowing that people were watching, people were paying attention, and to do well, and you have an opportunity. Like I said, not too many people play baseball in the Bronx to get looked at and get out of there. There's some talent down there, but at the same time, it's tough. You got the whole country. You got guys that are ahead, guys that play baseball year-round, like California, Florida, Texas. That Northeast gets overlooked.
You read the scouting reports or what Baseball America, where they rank you in the organization?
No, I don't pay attention to that at all. I mean, I don't even know who those people are. They could be really. Honestly, I don't read into that stuff. I read the box scores and who's hot, who's not. I read our scouting reports there in the dugout that for opposing players. I mean, who's good, who's not. Whether you hype somebody up or you don't hype somebody up. So it's all about what you do season to season and being able to have good numbers and put together a good season, be consistent to try to get to the major leagues. Those blogs or Baseball America, they're good. They're good information as far as, who's doing what and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I read it here and there. But as far as, their insight, I don't really look in rankings. I don't care. I really don't care.
How about the fans? People yelling and screaming at you all the time.
Don't hear them. Rarely hear them. You kind of hear them when you're in the dugout, more so when you're on the playing field, when you got that tunnel vision, focusing on what you need to do. But, when you do something good and there's a packed house, you definitely feel it more than anything instead of hearing it. So it's cool. I enjoy the environment where, Richmond in AA was a big time environment. We had like 10,000 to 12,000 people every night. San Jose was pretty big. Here, even in Fresno, when we get good crowds, it's good baseball. And fans know what's going on. Big time Giants supporters around here. So, it's fun to hear, some of the things like when you're on deck circle. But when you're in the game and you got you and the pitcher, you ain't focusing on what you hear. You're locked in on what you need to do and what you want to do. So.
What about the umpires, especially as a catcher? How do you handle the umpires?
You don't want to get them upset. You want to keep them on your good side. You just want to be able to basically work together. They're human too. They're gonna make mistakes just like the players do. As far as I more so try to keep it positive. If they miss a call or miss a close pitch, just being able to just ask them nicely, just where they think they might have had that pitch, or asking them questions about the game, making sure they're just as focused as I am back there, so they won't, miss a call or something like that. Just being able to be on top of them, build a relationship as the course of the season. So when you do get them again, the word is good. The conversation between you and the umpire, it's okay. So it helps, getting the pitcher a close pitch. It helps, understanding the strike zone as a hitter as well for me. So. Knowing those guys and being able to, see them come up or never seen them before, it's immediately important to just get on the same page and really understand what he's trying to do, and also understand that he's human. And they're gonna make mistakes. Umpiring is not an easy job. They have a lot of responsibilities, whether moving over, rotating, a lot of stuff, a lot of movements going on. So, just to bear down and seeing high velocity, good movement, corner to corner, and understand the strike zone, it's tough on them too. So you try not to give them a hard time, but just try to bear with them and make sure the focus is there, and just being able to understand what they're trying to do, and being able to help them out if anything.
Now, do you make an effort to talk to them?
Always.
So you know where the strike zone is and things like that?
Always. If I don't agree with a certain pitch, or if I don't understand, a rule or something like that, I try to talk to them. It's a relationship you build, just like between a pitcher and catcher. Because I don't want my pitcher trying to be show emotion how he's frustrated, or chirp back and forth. That leads to ejection. And it sucks because you got to get the bullpen rushed if he gets. It's just certain things that play in a factor where you just got to keep everything under control, and just being able to have a good mindset and try to be positive.
What would you tell a high school kid if you went back to your high school now and they ask you about professional baseball? What would you tell them?
It's not as easy as you think it is. It's a process. It's a grind. It's a job. All the dreams and stuff like that, as far as getting to the major leagues, it's not easy. You got to really commit yourself 100% to being able to understand that it's a job, to maximize your ability to the fullest. And when you step on the baseball field, that you give 100%, because you don't know who's watching. And it's clearly important that if you want to play at the major league level, it's obviously consistency that is demanded up there. It's how you come to the table every night and bring your abilities and show the world. Only 700 players play in the major leagues a year. It fluctuates up and down. People go up and down, injuries, like you said, and you just don't know. Your opportunity might come after a game over three strikeouts, and they call you up. You just don't know. It's being able to showcase your ability on an everyday basis when you sign a professional contract, and you have to own it to yourself to take that responsibility and look yourself in the mirror and know that that's what it takes to become a major leaguer. And it's a demanding job, just like any other job. And I'm not trying to scare any high school kids either, but also at the end you still have to have fun. And whether the frustration or success, there's gonna be curves, there's gonna be roller coasters. It's a grind, and you just gotta go about it and work and just be a professional and showcase your talent. Let everyone see what you got every night. Whether it's a ground ball to shortstop and you're hustling down the line and you beat out a throw, or hustle, or you tie a game, clutch situation. Good pitching, making a good pitch, clutch situation. Little things like that. Just being able to just not think that this game is easy. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's a demanding job, and it's something that if you love baseball and you want to make it to the major leagues, it's a process, and you got to understand that process, and you got to go about it like a professional.